You know what's better than one giant monster? Two giant monsters fighting to the death. Now, crossovers are not a new thing to the Godzilla franchise. He has fought King Kong twice now and is going to team up with him for now the second time, because he did team up with him in Godzilla vs. Kong. He is balled against Charles Barkley. Only my goats can ball like that. He's been in Call of Duty, he's been in Minecraft, he's been in PUBG. Bro was supposed to fight Batman. Needless to say, Godzilla crossovers are awesome, they're sick, but they don't happen as often as you think, actually. Now, today's video is going to strictly go over film crossovers, kaiju, and robots that I want to see either fight Godzilla or fight alongside him. I mean, I'm holding him. I'm literally holding him. Would I be a kaiju fan if he wasn't at the top of the list? No. Gamera is absolutely one of the most underappreciated kaiju, despite the fact that he's actually got a pretty sizable fan base overall. Nowhere near as big as Godzilla and King Kong, obviously, but like, you know, he's probably got as many fans as like Mothra does, I'd say. Actually, no, I'll take that back. He's definitely got more fans than Mothra has. And I still stand by the fact that the Heisei Gamera trilogy it just sweeps the Heisei Godzilla era any day. I know that's heinous considering, I mean, he is on my shirt, but yeah, I'm not gonna lie. After watching both eras, the Heisei Godzilla era and the Gamera trilogy, watching both a couple times, yeah, I'm taking the Gamera trilogy. This is a crossover that I think anyone who's delved into the kaiju genre past Godzilla and King Kong have always wanted. And the worst part is, this crossover was at least thought about by the King of the Monsters team. I mean, he's in the concept art for that movie. I doubt it was close to happening because of all the rights hurdles and stuff that they'd have to hop through with Dai and all them. But it hurts because they thought about it and they drew it. And we didn't get it. Like, if the people working on your movie think that this guy should be in the monsterverse, put him in the monsterverse, man. Will we ever see this crossover? Oh yeah, I guarantee what's going to happen one day. Will I be alive to see it? I hope to God. I really hope so. It would be so awesome finally seeing these two come together. But yeah, there's no reality I don't see these two eventually crossing paths. It may be like just a one-time thing, and it may be a short-lived thing, just a one-time thing. But man, I'll take it. Watch it be the like 100th anniversary film. I don't have an Ultraman figure, so I can't just. I'm not going to swap the figures either, because I don't have every. Another one that I would be a fake kaiju fan for if they weren't on this list. I mean, like, technically, on a technical level, it's kind of already happened. I mean, Godzilla and Ultraman are both in Giga Bash. There are a few of the kaiju in the old Ultraman show that are just Godzilla suits with extra pieces and colors added to them, like Jiris with the frill. And I remember my friend literally telling me, "Hey bro, Ultraman killed Godzilla." Like, instead of being upset that like Godzilla died or whatever potentially to Ultraman, I was like, Ultraman and Godzilla fought? And so I was freaking out. And, you know, we finally watched the clip, and it's of Jiris. That clip of Jiris losing his frill. And I'm like, oh. Now, yeah, does Godzilla technically already have his own Ultramen with both Jet Jaguar and Zone Fighter? Yeah, but are they Ultraman? No, they are not him, and they never will be him. They can try to imitate him all they want, but they won't. Still absolutely fucking love Jet Jaguar, though. Zone Fighter, I've not watched before, so I can't really say. I got a Lethal Company invite in the middle of me recording this, I'm sorry. Above all, though, yeah, like, come on, I want Godzilla and Ultraman to cross over. Like, come on, that'd be fucking sick. And maybe have Jet Jaguar there as an intermediary to bridge the gap of the two franchises. I don't know. Okay, now we are getting into the less obvious ones, although this one is still pretty obvious. Now, I love me some Eldritch Abominations, some cosmic horror, some Lovecraftian entities. Therefore, I like me some Cthulhu. And it turns out, you know, Cthulhu's a big-ass monster as well. You know what else? Cthulhu's in public domain. It's gotta happen, man. But no, seriously, I am, like, genuinely, like, dumbfounded that this crossover hasn't happened yet. All you gotta do is make Cthulhu, like, bigger than how Destroya would scale to Godzilla, and boom, and make him OP too, I forgot to mention that, and boom. And a perfect opportunity for if you want Godzilla and Ghidorah to team up, man, perfect opportunity. Now, I could give away my sauce for how I would do Cthulhu in the Monsterverse. I originally was going to. It's in the video script. I'm not going to. Legendary, if you are considering doing it, you know where to find me. Long story short, big giant evil squid man with wings needs to scrap with big giant radioactive lizard, and maybe big giant three-headed golden dragon needs to get involved too. This one's a weird one because of how it would have to be handled, but yeah, Pacific Rim is a all-time classic, just one of my favorite movies ever. Just absolutely love it, dude. The sequel, not so much, but the original Pacific Rim film has some of the best kaiju action in any movie ever, in my opinion. It is impeccable how good the action in that movie is. So, considering they are both made by Legendary and Warner Brothers, it would be awesome to see, Godzilla and a bunch of Jaegers team up to fight some Category 5 kaiju. The only problem, though, is that the Jaegers are small. They're like, 250 feet tall? I think it's the largest one, something like that. That, and they are in an entirely different universe with their own timeline. But we're going to try and approach that. I have seen heavy spoilers theory that Axis Mundi from the Monarch show is going to be like the thing that connects Pacific Rim's universe to the Monsterverse. For all I know, all that stuff could actually be what they're setting up. And, if that is what they are setting up, I mean, I guess that's not the worst way they could do it. But also, I think we're all sick of multiverses. So I'm going to propose an alternative that may not be the best option, but it's better than a multiverse. What I believe would be ultimately the best approach to get Pacific Rim in the Monsterverse is to reboot it based in the Monsterverse. Now, I wouldn't say outright just remake the first film. I would take the broad beats of like the kaiju riffs opening up, blah, 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 slap that into wherever point into the Monsterverse timeline you want to. It would have to be after Godzilla vs. Kong, considering Mechagodzilla is the first time we ever see a mechanized Titan ever. Just say humanity started building Jaegers after that, and then, yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, there's really no... It's either a multiverse or a reboot. You can't connect it other than that, really. But yeah, now that I give my proposition, maybe the Axis Mundi theory isn't too bad. All I can say is if they can find a not stupid way to have Godzilla and Pacific Rim crossover, I say do it. Please. I won't lie. I only put this guy in here because I really like the movie. That's really about it. Rhedosaurus would not last 5 minutes in the Monsterverse. He would get murked so quickly. There's not really a whole lot going on with Rhedosaurus, other than the fact that, he's just a big-ass lizard, really cool-ass lizard, animated with stop motion. That and the film did technically serve as inspiration for the first Godzilla film because it came out a year before. So, if it weren't for that film, then yeah, Godzilla may have actually wound up being a squid after all. Yeah, Rhedo deserves that crossover after I thought about that. Never mind. And Warner Brothers owns the beast of 20,000 Fathoms. I say just remake the first film, set it in the Monsterverse, set it in some small town to where even though it gets destroyed, really it doesn't get out, the word doesn't get out, the way it doesn't conflict with the timeline too much. Have Monarch be there, have them be involved, and then eventually, if you want Rhedosaurus to come back, especially considering, he was serving as one of the inspirations for the original Godzilla, say he's one of Godzilla's, ancient offshoot species, one of his ancestors, and give him some new cool abilities and stuff. Now, don't turn him into just a Godzilla clone, but, give him some cool, unique things unique to him. I would say make him much more of a land dweller kind of monster, whereas Godzilla is much more amphibious. Maybe give him a lot spikier of a design. I don't know. Either way, I think that Rhedosaurus absolutely deserves his place in the Monsterverse or just any form of Godzilla crossover. I think he deserves it. This one would definitely be like a one-off kind of cameo kind of thing, but yeah, I've always wanted to see the Big G-Rock Venom. Now, they could do it in one of the Spider-Verse movies or something. If I'm not mistaken, technically Sony also is co-working on the Monsterverse somehow. I don't remember. But come on. Venomized Godzilla would be so sick. But yeah, I gotta clarify, I don't want Godzilla involved in the MCU or Sony Spider-Man universe in any form. I do not want that. But, you know, maybe in a one-off, like in a Spider-Verse movie, or like if they make an animated Godzilla movie or something, whatever. I think, you know, just like a one-off little moment where he's Venomized, I think would be awesome. Okay, I'm gonna put this down and grab a Transformer here, since I'm gonna be yapping about Transformers. Let me grab my Go Optimus Prime. Okay, this one is just the Transformers fan in me wanting to yap about Transformers. I had to switch the toy specifically for this one. If you know me at all, Transformers is my other favorite franchise of all time, other than Godzilla. They frequently share the #1 spot, flip-flop back and forth, which one I like more. Currently, Godzilla is above Transformers, but Trypticon is definitely an homage to both Godzilla and Mechagodzilla. So yeah, while it wouldn't be anything new, it would be awesome to see these two franchises come together, and it would be awesome to see Trypticon fight either Godzilla or Mechagodzilla. And also, there's like an old drawing, I can't remember who drew it, but of Optimus Prime, the Knight Optimus Prime, riding the legendary Godzilla like he did Grimlock in Age of Extinction, and I've wanted that frame to be real in a movie ever since. Now I'm going to cover both of these in the same breath because there's really not much to say about Yongary. There's a lot more to say about Pulgasari, so I'm just going to put them both in one go. I did not know Yongary was a before I watched the movie. So, yeah, I'm not wanting this crossover as much as before I put him in the script for the video. But, you know, it would still be awesome to see the South Korean Godzilla crossover with the real Godzilla. Definitely, you know, like, roid him up, make him more unique, make him stand better on his own. Make him not die and shit out blood. That was... Now, as for Pulgasari, I genuinely thought Pulgasari was actually a really good movie, though, overall. I really enjoyed it. It was super cheesy, but it is my kind of thing. But also, Pulgasari is not only based on real-life folklore, Pulgasari is also technically public domain. So, yeah, I think Pulgasari definitely needs to be in the monsterverse, 100%. But yeah, and Pulgasari would also be a very interesting kaiju to see because, you know, bro is the #1 sheet metal eater in the entire world. He loves his metal. So yeah, I think it would be really nice to see Pulgasari cross over with Godzilla in any fashion. It'd be awesome. Well, that's pretty much all the crossovers I could think of. I mean, I could probably just pick just random franchises that I want to cross over, but I wanted it to be more meaningful, more specific to you know, the kaiju genre. If I can only pick one of these crossovers, I'm not gonna lie, I'm picking Cthulhu. I'm picking Gamera. I'm holding the figure. But yeah, let me know about what your all's Dream Godzilla crossovers are in the comments below. As always, you know, leave a like on the video, subscribe to stay updated with the channel. Helps the channel out. Turn on notifications, follow me on Instagram. Link is in the description for all that stuff. And also subscribe to the main channel if you want to hear some music. And as always, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.